Hello sports fans, welcome to the MVP Sports Studio tutorial on removing backgrounds in Photoshop using the Select Subject tool. I'm Steve, your MVP design coach. At MVP, our goal is to provide you with the professional templates, tutorials, and tools you need to celebrate the achievements of your MVP. In the last few years, Photoshop has made great strides in providing tools that can recognize the subject in an image. I will be showing you how to remove the background really fast for use in our MVP templates. Here we have a shot of our athlete. First, I'm going to crop this and then scale it up. You don't really need this background anyway. So first, I'm going to go over here to the toolbar and I'll select the crop tool. It's this one right here. And that gives me these nice little handles around my photo. I'm going to bring them in close to my subject. Bring that up there. Scroll down a little to get that handle. Good. Now I can hit return or enter. I've got that cropped nicely. Now I'm going to increase the size of this image. I just like to work on bigger images. So I'm going to go to image size. And right now we are in inches. It's possible that you'll be in pixels, so you just need to click on this, change it to inches, no problem. And I think I'll change this to 22 inches. That's just bigger. It's kind of random, I admit, but it's bigger. We'll hit OK. And now we have a resed up image ready to go. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my layer window. I'll select my athlete layer. I'm going to right click on it. Then I'm going to go to duplicate layer. You can call it whatever you want, name it whatever you want here. This is fine for right now. Hit OK. And now I've got a duplicate layer here. I'm going to turn off my original. That's just me. I like to keep a copy that hasn't been touched or affected just in case I mess up, which I tend to do. So here we have a copy of our layer and we've got our athlete here. And you'll notice this athlete with the long hair, you see a lot of the various hair that is around. In the past, that was a real difficult thing for Photoshop to do. Next step, let's go over here to our polygonal lasso tool. Okay, I'm going to click on that. And am I going to use it? No, it just gives me access to this select and mask tool. So I'm going to click on that. And nothing. I've got nothing. But I'm on that select and mask interface right now. Now, I don't mess a whole lot around with these, but you can. And there's some wonderful tutorials out there about how to do that. I just hit select subject. And you'll see that it's done a really nice job of going around my subject. Even though the uniform was black, my background was black, it's done a real nice job. So I'm going to hit OK. So now we're back to our typical Photoshop interface. And you'll see over here in the layers that on the layer that we're working on, it has added a layer mask, and I do have it selected at the moment. A layer mask is this wonderful tool that allows you to hide and to see certain parts of your image. Things that we see are white, and when we don't see them, they're black. So we also get this wonderful black and white value slider up here to work with. Let me give you a real quick example. I'm going to select my brush by going over here. You can also just hit B. And right now I've got, for my demonstration, you can see the size of the brush right here. And that's perfect for my little example. But if I wanted to change the size, I can hit the left or right bracket keys, which are just to the right of the P key on your keyboard. So if I want to go a little bit bigger, I'll hit the right bracket If I want to go smaller, I'll hit the left bracket, or I can right click on it when I've got my brush selected, and I can change the size here. For this example, I'm going to use the hard round brush. Typically when I'm removing backgrounds, I'll use either the soft round or the hard round. So I click on that. I'm going to hit enter or return. So right now I've got black selected up here in the colors, and that removes my image. So if I just come in here and do a swath, you'll see I've removed that. Now if I change this to white, I can restore it. See how I'm just painting over top of it and it's all coming back. Now if I do that, I'll restore some of the original background, but I think that helps you get the idea. I'm going to hit Command or Control Z to go back to this, and then one more time, and I'm back to what the Select Subject tool has done. Great. So now I'm going to come over here and get my Zoom tool. You can do that also by hitting Z on your keyboard. And I'm going to come in here to start to inspect some of these edges. Now you'll see Photoshop's done a really nice job. It's even got all these hairs and everything. Okay? But for my use, I like to clean up these edges. Okay? And clean up some of this. You can see it didn't do a perfect job here. It did a really nice job. It got us really far. Looks great along this arm. Looks great along the side here, all the way down. There's some problems around the foot. That's very typical around the shoes. And we'll clean up some things where just in a few spots actually. Lost a little bit of the white in here. Great. That'll just take a few minutes and I'll show you an example, but I won't bore you with too much. So around the hair, Photoshop's doing a great job now. But for what I want, I don't think I want all that strands of hair showing. So I'm going to get rid of a few of them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my black and white over to black. I'm going to hit B on the keyboard, or you can go over here in your toolbar and get the brush tool. And that's a big brush. So I want to make sure I've got the soft brush. You can get and I'll hit return or enter. I'm going to scale that down using the left bracket tool. And you can get an idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to soften some of these. Yeah, and I'm going to go a little smaller. Yes, it's important. And I'm just painting over top of it. Yeah, it's important to show some of that irregularity, but I want to tone it down a little bit. Now, the other thing I want to do is over here is I want to clean that up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of fade out this hair. See how I've done that? But what I've also done is I've removed some of the uniform. So I'm going to hit Control Z. I'm going to check my brush. I'm going to go to a hard round brush. I'll hit return or enter. I'm going to go to white because white restores. So I'm going to come in here along where the uniform should go. I'm going to give this a nice solid line. Great. And now I'm going to go to the black to get rid of a few things. And I'm going to come right along this uniform. And I'm going to get rid of this area. Because the reality is, in a template like we have, nobody cares. It doesn't matter. Nobody's ever going to notice. So I've just taken some of that hair, rounded around the corner, and that should work just fine. Now we'll go around the top here. You can see how it's also kind of gone into this area. So I'm going to fix that. So I want to restore. So I'm going to go with the white. You check my brush. Let's make this soft. Okay, I'm going to hit return or enter. Make this a little smaller. And I'm just going to click, move it along a little bit, click again, move it along, click again, move it, click it. And all the time I'm holding down Shift. That allows me to kind of go in the direction I want to. Now I'm just painting, moving back and forth, making sure all that's filled in nicely. Okay, now I'm going to clean that edge up. All I need to do is come in here and I'm gonna hold down Shift click, click, click kind of right along here. I like to show some of the irregularity, but I like to clean it up too. Sometimes when these athletes are posing, you know, hair gets messed up. It happens. So I'm going to come along here and I'm just going to soften some of this. You know, it's fine. You don't have to. There's nothing wrong with the hair as it is here. It's all been captured. Sometimes I just like to clean it up. That's just me. So I'm going to come in here, clean some of this up. You know, when you get a background that has lots going on in it, you won't even notice. This way, it won't stand out. It won't be distracting. It'll just look pretty normal. So I want to come in here and clean this up as well. I want to just get rid of some things. I'm going to switch to my hard round brush, hit return or enter. And I think I'll just kind of come down in here, right along the edge of the uniform. Again, when this gets put into our template, it works just fine. Okay, now we noticed it had missed this area here. Some of the white had gotten removed. So I'm going to go back to my original. I'm going to turn that on a second. And oh, this little stripe goes way over there. Okay, so it's way over here. So what I'll do, I want to restore. So I'm going back to white. I'm getting my brush. I'm going to right click on it, make sure I've got my hard round brush, hit return. And this is way over here. Okay, that restores it. I'm just painting. And now I'm going to get rid of the edge that I just uncovered. I'm going to make this a little smaller. I'm going to come right along here on this edge and just move down around. And again, these don't have to be perfect because we're talking about folds in a uniform. Nobody's going to be analyzing these. We just want to make a nice clean edge. Great. And then we can move right along. These all look terrific. And then we see this shoe. All right. Now I need to clean up some of these areas of the shoe, but let's take a look at where that shoe goes all the way over to the other leg. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do is restore some things. So I have switched my color back to white. I'm going to make this a little bigger by clicking on the right bracket tool. And I know that this shoe is right in here. It comes right up against this other leg. So I'm restoring. I'm just dragging my mouse, restoring all of this. Okay. Now, you can remember that these things don't have to be perfect. Nobody's analyzing how the shoes are working, and you're not selling shoes or anything. So I have changed my color back to black because I just want to get rid of some of this. And so I'm going much smaller, and I'm just going to click and move I'm going to hold down shift, click, move my mouse, hold down shift, click, and I'm going to go around here. And again, you're not selling shoes. This is going to be a part of a template. So we're going to go in here. We want to look good, but no one's going to be analyzing this. Hopefully not. So I'm just painting now, getting rid of the rest of this. I'll go make it a little bigger. Great. I am holding down shift and clicking, going along, getting rid of some of that. We'll make it smaller. And if you want to get in here, get into that detail, super, no problem. We just made it smaller. We're going into the sock a little bit to get rid of that black edge. No problem, easy. So we're gonna hit this here. We've restored it. Great, that looks good. Now all I honestly do is I keep doing that same process. In this case, along the shoe. You can see how that edge is a little soft. So I'll probably come in with my, first I want to restore it. So I'll move this black back to the white. I'm going to make this a little bigger, the right bracket key, and you'll see that it's right along this edge. Okay, easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to the soft round brush again, hit return or enter. Go to black so we get rid of it. Let's go a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to go along here, and I'm going to let that edge be soft because it's soft in the photo. And I'm going to go right into the leg. Say, why are you going into the leg? That's silly. Well, I'll restore it with the hard edge, and that will look better. So we will restore it with the white. I'm going to click on it and go to the hard round. And I'm going to click here, hold down Shift, click there, go into the sock. And really for what we're doing, that's fine. I'm going to get the black again and clean a couple of things up here. Probably being too concerned. All right, let's move out. I clicked on Z. You can use your zoom tool. I'm also holding down Option Alt to come back out. And what I typically do, I go around cleaning up some of those images, checking around the foot, but in this case, foot looks great. And go along the side. The side looks great. And I'm liking this. Now, once you have your background removed, you're ready to add it into a template. Here's some examples of how you can use this in a template, and you can change the color, and that's what we do here at MVP. So check us out. We sell on Etsy. Check out our Facebook page, MVP Sports Studio. Thanks very much.